Good afternoon, ciao, bonjour, dobry den, everyone. I'm glad to be here with you today and happy to very briefly present our project Vision. I'm here on behalf of all of our consortium partners that I will show you briefly in the next slide. So as some of you may already know, but yeah, I cannot ask you to raise your hands, but of course, if you have any questions, feel free to interrupt me or ask later on, as the colleague said. So as some of you may already know, Vision was launched back in September 2020 to allow Europe to scale up its research capacities and reach a critical mass through these tighter networks of European AI excellence centers as they were presented before. The centers, these centers of excellence in AI bring together the best research teams in Europe to tackle major scientific and technological challenges. So basically, the project tried to ensure this tighter cooperation between the 4 original networks of AI excellence centers that were established under the ICT 48-2020 Research and Innovation Action Calls. In this next slide, you will see, as I was telling you, the consortium of partners that proposed this project back in 2020. You can see on the screen, it is still coordinated by the University of Leiden and has now been lasting for over 36 months and will soon end in August 2024. So here I'm quickly presenting to you the objectives, but also what we did. So the kind of hoping to have a legacy from the activities that were performed in this past few years. So as I was telling you, the project aims at making Europe a research powerhouse in human-centered, trustworthy AI. Not such a famous word maybe back in 2020, but certainly a big topic right now. And in fact, Vision stands for value and impact through synergy, interaction, and cooperation of the networks of AI excellence centers. As mentioned, it is a coordination and support action that aim to support these 4 original networks of excellence centers, which were, as you can see here, Humane AI, NET, AI for Media, ELSA, and Taylor. Each network was mainly focused on, for example, media and fake news, AI for Media, machine learning, ELSA, human-centric AI with the Humane AI NET, and trustworthy AI with Taylor. So these networks grew and they became suddenly, in the course of time, let's say 6, with the addition of euROBIN, which aggregated leading experts from all over Europe in robotics and AI research, and ELSA, which was focused on safe and secure AI. And recently, they didn't stop because the networks grew up to 9 with the addition of ELIAS and Field and the DA Edge. These networks, this ecosystem built, of course, on the success and the organization of other really important entities and organizations that you probably know, such as CIIRC, the Confederation of Laboratories for AI Research in Europe, ELIS, EURAI, euROBOTIcs, ADRA, BDVA, and of course the AI on demand platform, which should merge all these actors together to become the single entry point of AI made in Europe. But let's see very briefly what Vision did. What were the tools, the instruments that the project used to bring these actors together? And maybe some of you can be also inspired with from what we did. So as I was telling you, the project tried to bring together all these actors, this ecosystem, first of all, by allowing them to exchange expertise and best practices, to talk to each other, to meet. And it did so also by creating and strengthening, for example, links existing and new between academia and industry. How it brought together, for example, these actors through the dedicated team development workshops, each focused on a different sectors, from manufacturing to public sector to healthcare, to talk about the advancements of AI in this field and talk about what is the academic perspective, what is the industry perspective. And then we also reflected on what went well and what could be improved in this interaction between these 2 very, let's say, distant fields, where you can find all this information, the reports of the workshops on our website. sorry, I forgot to mention it, but we have a very thorough website that Eva allowed us to have in these years where all this information can be found. But moving on, the project also tried to establish these cross-disciplinary AI training initiatives and an AI curricula by funding an initiative to support a world-level AI education and research program, AIDA, the International AI Doctoral Academy, which was created, in fact, to offer this knowledge and expertise in AI at European level to attract PhD talents from all over Europe. Not only it did this, the project also defined this integrated road mapping for European AI strategic research agenda. It supported the networks in creating this agenda, and it also mapped the European AI and data robotics ecosystem to give everyone in Europe an overview of the research, development and innovation activities on AI and related teams across Europe, and find those organizations that are working on these teams. On the website, you can also find this very nice map where you can see all the AI organizations working on AI in Europe. And then, thanks to our colleagues, once again, from Eva and her team from the Czech Institute of Informatics, Robotics and Cybernetics, a European AI vision and brand was created that you can see up there on the right, close to vision, to reflect this common identity of an AI made in Europe. And once again, the project tried to connect with the existing initiatives and complement these, such as AI for the EU, the digital innovation hubs and the new European digital innovation hubs, different industry networks, public-private partnerships, and that's basically also why we are here today, to connect, again, the dots, let's say, looking backward, but also forward. So if you would like to receive, additional information, please feel free to contact me or Eva on this project if you have any questions. Otherwise, you can also, as I was mentioning earlier, visit our website, which contains all this information. I hope this was interesting for you, even though very brief. And of course, yes, if you have any additional questions, I'm here for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Beatrice, for great opening. So many informations. Wow. So I learned there is a map, European map of AI organizations, and I guess you know most of them. And if I pick any of that organization, I should feel free to contact you to give me a connection link, maybe.
Well, you should be free to have their actually connections there on the map. I mean, it is a work in progress. We have been working on that in the past years, but you can find a map where you can see also, you should see the Technical University of Prague there and what it's working on on AI. So if you go on the website, you should be able to see that. Otherwise, please forgive me.
Thank you for presenting a vision project. So it means that if I have any questions about AI and I need any more details, I can contact you freely. So can anybody sitting here?
Yes, of course.
Welcome, Dobrý den, and Guten Tag, because I'm greeting you from Germany, from Saarbrücken actually, where two of the project partners are located, as you can see on the map. Welcome to our testbed in Prague, to everyone in the room and people online. Thanks, Pavel, for the nice introduction. I will give you a brief impression of what we are doing here. To us, digitalization, as you can see in the playground over there, no, the other way around, this way. To us, digitalization brings people together. We work together in the lab and in the network of labs that we call testbeds. We are concerned with innovation in advanced industrial production, sometimes called Industry 4.0, which is the automation, the digitization, and the support with assistive systems of humans in a modern production environment. It's organized as two connected projects which provide a startup funding of which much has already been spent, and you can see the hardware next door, totaling up to 50 million euros, 48 point something to be precise. And we built up a new center of excellence as a network of such testbed labs in Prague, as you can see right here, in Brno at our partners of the Brno University of Technology in the CETEC Center. Associated partners in the Czech Republic are the University of Ostrava, the Technical University, and then the core expert partners in Saarbrücken are the ZIMA Institute and DFKI, where I'm originally from, which is the German Research Institute for Artificial Intelligence, with locations also in Kaiserslautern, where we have a smart factory that's also involved in the project. So it's building up this network as a European infrastructure that offers a lot of things to do. It's grounded in academia, so it's a place of research, for students to learn, for education, for working on master's thesis, on the PhDs, etc. But it provides the whole pathway of innovation and transfer. So we do offer tailor-made solutions for industrial partners based on our roots in research. We provide consulting services through the EDIH and the testing experimentation facility, a big European network jointly with many other partners, 14 all over Europe. Our research topics are, of course, since we're about distributed production, how networks of factories and of labs, the first step, can work together, how we can modularize things, how we can provide a more flexible production that's still highly efficient by putting things together that happen in different places. And we think, and you can convince yourself by visiting us again. If you want to come a second time, you're always welcome. We're happy to show what we're doing. We have this infrastructure to do this kind of research and provide innovative solutions. And we're really providing this with open access guidelines. So this is really open to everyone on an equal basis. So that's a brief introduction of how we're organized, and we hope to keep up this infrastructure as a place that connects academic research with implementations in industry.
She's professor, and she works here at CIIRC, at CTU, and her name is Olga Štěpánková, and I would like to ask you to put your hands together for her and invite her and welcome her here on stage.
Thank you.
Good day, Olga. Please join me here, and you will be accompanied by a very energetic person, Megi Mejdrechová, who is co-founder of RoboTwin, which is a great startup in robotics. Megi, hi. So as I promised, here's the tricky question, Olga. And we have only 4 minutes. Who is Olga?
Well, it's difficult to say, but of course it's myself. But probably much more important is what I have been influenced by, because of course I have been changed by many influences, of course by my friends, co-workers, and the environment. And I believe that one of the formating influences were the books I loved.
So tell me more about the books. I guess those were some milestones or some shifty moments in your career.
Yes.
So let's talk about books. I love books.
Certainly. These are the books which I have brought some of them just to indicate what I would recommend. Because I have been studying math at Faculty of Mathematics and Physics at Charles University at the dawn of computer science. When I was studying, Pascal was just a baby. Wow. So language Pascal was just a baby. And Prolog was not existing yet.
Just one question. What brought you to science? The one thing.
I ever loved to solve puzzles. And science is a sort of a pool of puzzles you can you can select from.
Okay, that's true.
So I have found quite a few inspiring books, and you can see that most of these books have been republished. They have been first published in 90s, and then they have reappeared and reappeared. Some of them are fourth edition, third edition. So I can recommend these books to anyone who would like to be inspired and find what is the magic of computer science, because you can experience on yourself that, well, this is not something you can ever do. There are even things which cannot be accomplished, and this can be proved. And this was really a great inspiration for me, that there are things we can prove that they can be never achieved. But all over it, we can try. You can try to get close to the solution.
It's approximation,
yes.
Of course. Yes, I know the science language. And I guess we only have time to talk about one book. Which of these two would you recommend more, and why?
Probably this one. This one is very well readable, understandable, and inspiring.
Okay, thank you. Olga, last question. The CIIRC was founded in 2013. Were you there when it was created 11 years ago?
Yes, I was in Prague, but at that time I was working with Faculty of Electrical Engineering, and I have joined my friends who have been here some 2 years afterwards.
Okay. And very last question. What gives you courage when you feel down? Tired, or like you would throw it away? What gives you courage?
Probably the colleagues I am working with.
People. Brilliant. Olga, thank you so much for this moment. Thank you for sharing.
Should I leave?
No, you should not leave. I think you should stay. I would love you to stay.
Okay.
If you're not busy, I guess you might be busy. And who is also very busy is Megi, because she is co-founder and still CTO, because we are at CTO, but you are Chief Technical Officer at startup RoboTwin. And you're smiling, but you're doing a lot of business, and shouldn't you be serious or something?
Yeah, that's a nice question. It's not mutually exclusive, right? So, of course, it's a serious business, and everyone in our team is like super busy, and we are really trying hard to achieve our vision. But in the same time, it doesn't mean that we cannot have fun doing it.
Yeah.
So I certainly do have.
I'm kidding, because I read your LinkedIn post that you posted quite recently. Megi wrote on LinkedIn that sometimes people ask her, shouldn't you as a woman be doing this? Or shouldn't you, or should you be doing that? Or so I'm just kidding around, and it's sometimes absurd how many stereotypes are there, what things should or should not look like, right?
Absolutely, it's just crazy. Like when people try to give me advices, I'm okay to just ignore it. It's fine. But when people try to like generalize and like not just give me advices, but like directly telling me, you should do this, like you do this, right?
Yeah.
This is like your job. This is how it looks like. This is how you behave in your job. But they never work with me, and they do not know what I actually do. That's just ridiculous. So like I'm happy for events such as this one, where we are actually here to talk in our own words and like share what we actually do and why, so that everyone has a chance to understand instead of just having prejudice and some assumptions.
I'm also very glad, and Megi, tell me, so what is it that you do?
Cool. So what we do in RoboTwin are teaching tools that help manufacturers to automate their production. So we basically design such a device you can see on the video. It's full of sensors, and what it allows is you can take it into production, and you can use it to record your movements. And the recording we then later use to generate robotic programs. So basically anyone who doesn't know anything about robotics, doesn't know how to write code, doesn't know how to program, can become a robot teacher. And with this device, with this tool that we are creating, you can automate the production way more easily and way more faster. It's really something what empowers small manufacturers to automate, and to shift towards some like more competitive stage, because even today, even nowadays, it's very much about manual production, and this is something what is not sustainable. It's something what is not healthy. It's something what is dirty, and something what we want to change. And that's why we are designing the robot teaching tools.
What would you say was your unique role in founding or at the beginning of RoboTwin?
Well, it actually started here at the university, at the CTU. So the topic we are focused on used to be a topic of my master thesis. And after my graduation, I was like, nice, there is a nice prototype of the solution that I brought, and what's next? And then I would say my unique role was I wanted to do the next step, the next 1 mile step, to actually create a company and develop that thing further into a product that we are now quite proud of, like having introduced into the industry, and something what, yeah, actually plays the role. It helps in the industry to automate.
What is it that you possess that made a team of more than 10 people standing behind your back and sharing your idea from your master thesis? What one characteristics or what one gift you have was it that made it possible?
That's a nice question. What I try is not just me, it's like the whole founding team. It's like the 3 co-founders of us. What we try is to make the vision clear so that everyone in the team understands why we do it and what we actually do. Who is there, who gets the value from it, who gets the help when our product exists. And I think that it's also for me the motivation to work hard and to overcome all the challenges, and there are many, right? So that's also for me like an opportunity, having such a company, small one, okay, but having a company to create the environment I myself enjoy working at. And why I enjoy working at is that there is a clear vision which I can relate to, and everyone in the team works towards that vision together.
I would like to say a big thank you to Professor Olga Štěpánková and to Megi Mejdrechová from RoboTwin. And it's not only me who's saying thank you, but oh, look, 20 new friends. Thank you again. Thank you, Olga.
Thanks.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, Megi. Thank you for sharing. And right now I will stand here because I might be looking at our online guests. And there's a keynote speaker who focuses on data privacy and security, which is a very hot topic because we need so many data and we are generating so many data, and the legislation is far behind, and we still need to have some security, privacy, and sometimes it's a blind spot or gray zone or how you call it. So it must be pretty exciting. So therefore I'm glad that Tejumade Afonja joined us today, and we see you on a screen. And I would like to say that you work at the institution CISPA, Helmholtz Center for Information Security. You are a PhD researcher focusing on private synthetic of data generation. And tell me, Tejumade, how are you today?
Hey everyone, and thank you so much for having me today. I am doing well, and how about you?
Thanks for asking. I'm fantastic because of so much inspiration today. Tell me, can it be said in 20 seconds, what is it what you're doing?
Well, as you have nicely introduced me, I am a doctoral researcher at CISPA, and currently my research is focused on private models for synthetic data generation. And I also must mention that I am a member of the European Lighthouse, which is focused on this same the same topic of safe and secure AI. So what it is that I do every day is really to understand how our data is being used in the machine learning world, and then how do we ensure that we all of these models are able to respect our data, and we produce this amazing tool in a privacy-preserving manner.
You started talking about your daily routine and you seem so excited.
Well, it's an exciting field, right? So yeah.
What's exciting for you personally about this topic, I would say?
Well, I would say that the interesting thing, what brought me into this field really was this idea of machine thinking, right? So like, to ask me this question, then you have to take me back to when I was 15 or something. So,
Yes.
you know, I stumbled into computer science on the day, which I think I stumbled into a wrong class in my second year of undergraduate. And at that time, I was dreaming of becoming a mechanical engineer, rather, believe it or not. But unknowingly to me, the classroom was like filled with like IEEE students. IEEE stands for Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers. And so it's an American profession, which they have a body, a student body in each university. And the aim is to have this diverse conversation where you continuously learn together, you interact, collaborate, and so on. So on that day, they were discussing NASA's Curiosity rover. I don't know if anyone knows of this, but it was launched in 2012. So it was the Mars collecting information about that. And I remember like looking at the picture of rover on Mars, and I was very fascinated. I was like, can machine really think? And of course, it's not like rover is really thinking, but at that time, this was my idea of robot, like some thinking machine doing all of the tasks that we cannot do by ourselves, or like making our life easier. So that brought me into this field, another passion of wanting to become a roboticist. And I did my final year project on robot vacuum cleaner. You know, how do you build all of these tools? Long story short, 10 years after, I found myself in a master's program in computer science, trying to understand the mechanism, like this intelligent part of machine, which is the machine learning. So my master's was really focused on machine learning, artificial intelligence, and privacy preserving models, because then I now found out that machine could, you know, somewhat think, but really it doesn't come for free. They need your data. And you start to see that there are a lot of models out there that are processing your data, and they can review your information. And just like, this is not what I signed up for. You know, I want the best of both worlds. I want a machine that helps me out, but does not, you know, like exacerbates the risk in the society or so on. So I had all of these questions about like ethics, privacy, robustness, and so on. And somewhat, I was drawn into this research like questions. And of course, I found myself in the one of the leading institutes, right, on cybersecurity, which is CISPA. So this is sort of like the kind of journey that, as you can tell, is not straight, but here we are today.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. And I see. So machines can somewhat think, and it's exciting. And I see the story you shared. Let me ask you, because you are excited, what obstacles you face, what drains your energy, and you may choose whether you answer in terms of people, a society, or relationships, or maybe you may talk about the science, what are some challenges in science. But maybe I feel the question is, what's challenging in your work?
Wow, this is a very tricky question to answer, because what is not challenging, really? It's a very like nascent field. You know, you're learning everything every day. Things are changing. Yesterday we were talking about transformers, the very popular machine learning algorithm. Today we're talking about large language models, and tomorrow who knows what we're going to talk about, right? So it's a field that continuously move, and you have to catch up on some of the societal concerns that could come up. You need to be able to think like many years in like into the future to see if the decisions you are making today is going to benefit us in the future. That's very difficult, and it can be very frustrating as well. And so you have to live each day as is, and try to be as future proof as you can, and continue to have that excitement about what this tool could be like in the future if we get it right today.
Tejumade, I think that was the final message also for today's participants, to live each day and to face challenges, because that's the constant pattern of life and scientific work. Thank you so much for joining today and sharing.
Thank you so much for having me, everyone.
Anna is a PhD student, and I really like what you do, because you focus on how motor and how biomechanics can help, and upper limb prosthetics or rehabilitation. That's it.
Yes, exactly.
It's yeah. So what's up in your industry? What's hot?
So actually, as you said, I have a passion on biomechanics and basically studying how human moves, because the human body is one of the most interesting and I think perfect things that exist. And my main interest is to understand how we can transfer this knowledge into a robotic device, which can be either a prosthesis for people who suffered an amputation, for example, or an exoskeleton, which is a wearable robot that you can put on and then can help, for example, rehabilitation of people who suffered a neurological disorder or a musculoskeletal accident.
Tell me, Anna, what made you to go to science, to choose the science career as your path?
Okay, so we have to go back a lot, because my mother she's a teacher and she teaches math, because she graduated in math. And I remember when I was very little looking at her preparing like tests, and she would draw all these circles and triangles and write these very fancy letters, and I was so drawn to it, and I would spend my afternoon copying all this stuff even though I couldn't understand anything. But somehow my love for mathematics started from there, and then it grew during my studies. And then I discovered engineering, which was something that was very interesting for me, because it meant going from the, let's say, theoretical basis of mathematics to something actually like applicable and something that can be used. And in my case, I'm a biomedical engineer, so my idea was to be able to provide solutions for actually help people. And this is what also brought me to rehabilitation.
To help people. I wanted to ask you what brings you joy, but I think you just said it.
The best memories I have about my work is when we tested our solutions on patients. I was very lucky to meet different kind of patients with different kind of problems, and it was very inspiring and very, let's say, heartwarming for me to see how they love these solutions, and how fun they would have with it, and how much they trust you and they believe in your work and they thank you about what you're doing for them. I think that's the best kind of satisfaction you can have in this kind of field.
Have you ever been in a situation that you felt, shouldn't I turn back, and what am I doing here?
Okay, so I am a PhD student, so I suffer from this very often because research and academia in general is not, is not a straight path. You are in a world in which you have to create knowledge, and it's not that easy. Sometimes it's very hard. Sometimes you have hypotheses and you experiment, and then you find out that they don't lead to anywhere. But I think this is what the beauty behind research itself. So yeah, I had a lot of moments in which I wanted to say, you know what, I quit. But the truth is I believe too much in my work and I believe in what we can create. So I always push forward.
We are not 90 years old or 100 to give any wisdom, but still you are a PhD student and you may have some wisdom. So what wisdom would you share? And maybe I should just ask, what recommendation would you give to your fellow PhD students and colleagues? Because when I look at the audience here, the age average might be similar as your age, and also you received a lot of laughter when you mentioned, oh, PhD student, it's all challenging, blah, blah, blah. So maybe there's some special connection. So what would be your advice?
Oh, my advice is believe in yourself and be passionate about it. Like I always say this to also my students, you have to fall in love with your project, with your thesis, with what you're doing. Because if you fall in love with it, and you're passionate about it, there is nothing that can stop you. And also if you have some ideas, like there might be people that have more experience than you, so it's very important to learn from them, but sometimes you might not share the same view. And my advice is don't underestimate yourself. Believe in yourself, push forward with your ideas and like defend them. And I'm sure everything is gonna be all right.
And when you find smarter or more educated or experienced people, learn from them, but don't put yourself in a position below. Yeah.
That's also very important.
Anna, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we have last online speaker here, keynote speaker. And she is from Centre Andrea de l'Université de Lorraine, and she works in Institute Laureat, and I hope I pronounced well. Her name is Jessica Colombel. She's postdoctoral researcher, and she is next to Anna.
Yeah, we're together.
I wanted to ask, who's your friend? It's great to have you back, Anna. How are you? And you brought your friend. Jessica, well, human-robot interaction, inverse optimal control. You know what? I'm a psychologist. I studied psychology, and inverse optimal control is a great concept also in psychology. When you don't know what is someone's intention, personality, or attitude, observe his or her behavior. And that's what you do with robots. Since you don't see in the black box anymore, you observe the robots, and then you try to guess, oh, what are his or its intentions? Is it so?
Oh, kind of.
Yeah, I'm close. So explain.
Yeah, work on inverse optimal control. It's just a method to understand how things are generate. We will say that like this. So my idea is to understand the behavior of human to help robots understand them and interact better with them. So the inverse optimal control is just a method to, to better analyze the motion. And yeah, that's it.
I see. So it's not psychology, it's focused on motion of humans, so robots understand what the human is about to do.
Yeah, there is a bit of psychology, we can say that, because my work was on biological motion. So the literature said that in all biological motion, there is a lot of information, and not just the information about the task that the animal or human is doing. There is also information about the cognitive part. So, for example, the emotions or intention, attention, things like that. And that's what I wanted to understand better. So can we, in just the motion, extract this information to better understand them? So I was not, my main goal was to better understand the cognitive part and the physical part in biological motion. And I wanted to work on fatigue. So because in fatigue there is a physical part, everyone knows that. So we are fatigued when we are doing physical work, for example, but there are also mental fatigue, and we wanted to see if we can extract that also on the motion.
Wow, I love it. And there's a great interdisciplinarity, which is one of the biggest added values in science today, when you can do it, and obviously you can. What brought you to science? Yes, you can. What brought you to the science?
I don't know. It was like when I was young, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I had a lot of ideas because there are a lot of things that was interesting. I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to be an astrophysician. I wanted to work with robots. And at some point, I had to choose. And I didn't think about it until I was in my last year of engineering school, and they asked me if I wanted to go in a robotics specialty, and I said yes. So that's it. That's how I choose.
What would be the second most probable area of your focus, if not robotics?
Oh, I think it would have been astrophysics. Yeah, I would have been an astrophysician, I think.
What brings you joy?
A lot of things, but I think the first answer was colleagues and people, and I think it's a good answer.
Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you again, Anna. And thank you for sharing. Thank you. We agreed with organizers that it would be great to present just two quick things, because we heard so many stories from you and from them, from you, online people, that we thought like, wow, but it's always, or sometimes difficult to start with something. Sometimes you need financing, or sometimes you need some upskilling, and therefore we agreed to invite on stage Anička and Karla to briefly talk about grants and what are options and possibilities right now, especially for talented women researchers and students. So, to say full names, I remember Anička Tahovská. Aničko, please join me. Hi.
Hi.
And Karla Štěpánková. Karla, good to see you. Yeah. So, maybe I would start with you, Karla. So, how do you like today's event?
It's honestly a challenge for me because I'm not used to talk to women.
Thank you for being honest. Yes.
Yeah, otherwise it's great.
Otherwise it's great. Okay, talk to me. If it makes you feel better, talk to me. Okay, so what is it you want people to know?
Okay. So then I think that this is not to the funding, but it's still about me and what is it, what I want that people know. I don't know, maybe that resilience is important in research, and that for me, like, inspiration in research comes from kids and interaction and challenges around. I like to climb the mountains and do different challenging things, and the research is something similar to some extent. And that's why actually, like, I selected science. I was thinking about it when I was sitting there, and you ask everyone how they got there. And for me, it was like, when I was on high school, then I was thinking, okay, will I be a writer, a psychologist, whatever, as everyone around? And then I was, what is the most difficult for me, what I don't know? And I selected, okay, I really don't understand physics, so then I went to study physics because all the other things seemed like I can learn by myself. And then I read also from Carl Sagan Cosmos, which was inspiring. And then I went to university and was not... yeah, but it was not enough that it's just challenging.
In psychology, they call it hypercompensation.
I found out that it's not good enough reason. So
Carla, you mentioned that I'm sorry, your great inspirations are kids. You have a baby, right?
I have 3.
You have 3 kids, 3 babies. And you focus on language acquisition, symbol grounding, learning by demonstration. Are you talking about machines or kids?
Yeah.
You see.
Exactly. After master, I didn't think about science, but then like just after master, I got my first kid, and then I was seeing the kid and how it develops, and I thought, oh, I want to study this, and I would like to understand it, and then understand how we can make maybe some artificial agent do it, but basically the main motivation was to understand how kids develop, and I wanted to create artificial system which will behave similarly, and even after 3 kids with quite difference in age, after 13 years still my agents don't do as well as the kids, so it's bad.
Sometimes they say that research is just another kid you have. So in your case you have 4 kids.
Yeah.
How do you manage?
Well, it's really terrible. The kids give you infinite challenges all the time. You think, okay, you master.
Just like research, as we heard from.
And the research is exactly the same, and there are all the other researchers coming with the new topics and solutions. So you think, oh, I'm finally getting there, and then someone solves it, and you have to find different way. So, yeah, it's challenging.
Do you sleep sometimes?
I don't know. Today I went to sleep at 3, so not really, but no, it's getting better.
I saw the project you're working on there in Testbed. It's a robot that, based on your voice, will give you the bricks. Hey, robot, give me the red big one. Is it the kid inspiration? Because you see.
Yeah. It actually, when you say it like this, that it's exactly like that. But I'm the robot, and the kid is the one who is querying me.
Plot shift.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe 2 last questions. The first would be, where do you see the future of robotics in terms of those robots are primitives, are babies? Will they ever be adults, partnering humans?
Yeah. Well, my vision for what I want is like some general robot which you can talk to and which adapts to you and understands the task, so you can personalize it. So when you talk to it or show it some task and communicate with it, then it understands how to adapt in your household environment and how to do new tasks. And I think then it has to become an adult. And I think it will get there.
It will get there.
And
quite soon,
maybe,
right?
Unfortunately, sooner than I thought. And I'm scared that I will not be the one getting them there.
Great.
Maybe, yes.
And the second question, Carla, is about ROBOPROX and opportunities provided within these ecosystems. And there we're getting to the topics I also announced. So tell me about ROBOPROX and those grants and financial stuff.
Yeah, okay. So ROBOPROX is a big project which connects different universities in Czech Republic, and there are really great teams which focus on robotics and advanced manufacturing, and we have also some companies involved and so on, but mainly it's about research. And because we want to, it's a huge project, we want to change things, and one of the ideas where we would like to change the things in science is to motivate more women to go into science, because it's really awesome, as you see here, and to give them option to create their dreams and their projects, and therefore we have some budget.
And deadline is within 8 days or less.
Well, you'll see that there will be next round.
There will be next round.
But
okay.
I think you should not wait for anything, and you should just try to send any idea you have, and we will, I think, be more than happy to fund your idea if it is anyhow reasonable. Find some supervisor who can help you to develop the idea, because we have like those teams covering many topics.
Yeah.
So you basically say within which topic you would like to work and what is your idea, and then the supervisor shapes the idea a bit with you and you get some funding for that.
So you will work with skilled other team members to facilitate the birth of your idea.
It's like you can become for 3-6 months part of the research team, and even if you don't do yet the research, you can try it. If you already do, then you can get more funding, more fun, more interaction with great teams.
There's a lot of money, not only from EU, but from many other institutions in robotics, AI, and data sciences. So make friends with Carla. Anything you would like to add? Any call to action?
I think you just should sign it, try it, and you will enjoy, because those people there are really motivating and great. So just try.
Just try it. Every big road starts with a single step.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, let's write some wisdom because I'm inspired. Carla, thank you so much. I met Anička earlier this summer, and I know she works in EIT Manufacturing Hub Czechia, and I would like to know, Anička, what is it that you would like participants here today to know?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's partially true. I'm mainly project manager here at CIIRC, CTU, and I also am the main contact point for EIT Manufacturing Hub Czechia. And it was my great pleasure to hear all of the stories today and the successes, but what's even more important is to hear the obstacles and maybe to learn how to overcome them, or how we can help you to overcome them, because my background is not in STEM. I am the support team and the support for you researchers and young researchers. And within the framework of EIT Manufacturing Hub Czechia, may I have maybe the clicker for the presentation?
Here's the presenter.
Sorry.
You're welcome.
Oh yeah. So our main task is basically to connect local companies and institutions to the EIT manufacturing innovation ecosystem, and to bring you guys the opportunities from the side of the EIT manufacturing. Yes, EIT offers a lot of opportunities, from the funding of your interesting projects, or you can utilize the reskilling and upskilling some workshops, or you can maybe try to compete with their within their competitions. And today I would like to focus on these two opportunities I bring to you. They are specifically focused on women. The first one is called Risk Leaders. It's a competition where you can submit your proposals or ideas. We are very lucky that we are here today with Megi Mejdrechová, because she won this competition in 2022. So you can see that it is viable and possible to win some of these competitions. Basically, this competition targets the women innovators in manufacturing. And 60 applicants will receive online training in pitching, and the top 3 will receive prize awards. The first prize is 10,000 euros, and the deadline for the application is on 15th of July. The second opportunity is a bit focused more on finance and funds. So if you are interested in learning more about funding, you can apply for the Supernovas, and you can receive 3 months course, online course in funding. The deadline for this call is next week, so it's quite fast, but you can look up through the QR codes more information about these calls, or you can reach out to me today during the event or via my email and learn more about these opportunities. Thank you.